Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a long-awaited upgrade is almost ready. What the new Victoria County Animal Services building will offer. A bond set for an accused offender, what led to a Victoria man's arrest and indictment. And a nursing program leads the way, why Victoria College's 2-year program is earning top honors.
Well, it's already begun raining in West Texas, as you see right about there. Those are the remnants of that tropical storm. That's going to be rolling into our area, giving us a pretty good chance for rain this coming weekend. I'll tell you when and how much coming up in just a moment.
And a new era takes over Texas A&M Victoria men's and women's soccer. We'll highlight both men's and women's games there earlier today. Coming up, sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shauna Curry is off tonight. Bond is now set for a 42-year-old Victoria man indicted by a Victoria County grand jury on multiple sex and drug charges. Prosecutors say Stephen Kaufman tried to traffic a child by sharing photos, her age, and location to set up sexual acts. He's also accused of having images of child pornography, secretly taking photos of another person's private areas without consent, and possessing cocaine. Law enforcement authorities say Kaufman tried to flee and was tracked down by U.S. Marshals at a ranch in Cotulla, where he was arrested in late August, then transferred to the Victoria County Jail, where he's held in lieu of $540,000 bond. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice is looking for a parolee who once lived in Victoria. A warrant is out for Lamar Sterling after officials say he failed to follow the terms of his supervision. Sterling had been released after serving time on a conviction. If you know where he is, call 1-866-680-6667. The city of Yoakum boil water notice is over. It was the Land of Leather's first boil water notice in 4 years. The boil water notice was due to a pipeline that broke underground. The city of Yoakum public water system water pressure dropped below 20 pounds per square inch. Lab results in the water were sent to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality for testing. TCEQ said the results showed the city water in Yoakum no longer requires boiling. A public hearing will be held on the City of Cuero tax increase. The hearing will be next Monday, September 8th at the City of Cuero Council Chambers, 212 East Main Street. The proposed tax rate is not greater than the voter approval tax rate. As a result, the City of Cuero is not required to hold an election at which voters may accept or reject the proposed tax rate. It has been in the making for quite a while, but now the new Victoria County Animal Services building is getting close to completion. Mark Sloat, director of Victoria County Animal Services, says that some of the benefits in the new location will be a larger office and kennel space. In addition, the facility will be fully climate controlled for better comfort for both the animals and staff. The location is the former Victoria Air office.
It's a lot larger space. It's about 16,000 feet inside square feet. It's heated and air conditioned, whereas our kennels right now are mostly heated because we're in Texas. But in the wintertime, they're not. There's very little heating. They're indoor-outdoor runs, whereas the new facility will be all indoor.
Sloat says that they are hoping for October as a possible opening date. The new location will be on the corner of Prophet Drive and Lavalier Streets. Here's your viewer poll today. What feature would encourage you most to visit the new Animal Services facility? Still way out in front at 66%. Public events or education programs, 31%. Animal interaction opportunities, a little bit up from 5, modern welcoming design at 3%. We thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we'll have the latest results at 10. That story reminds me we're still in the dog days of summer, and let's go to Mac Pettis with the first look at the forecast, and once again another hot one.
Yes, it was another hot one, way up to 99 degrees this afternoon, but the big story is out here. You see all that moisture, the remnants of what used to be a tropical storm, just like we expected it. The remnants are going over Texas, begun the rain in far west Texas. Question is, when does it get to our area? It'll be sometime Saturday night, and I still expect that we're going to see some stormy weather around here on Sunday and Monday. Those are the big 2 days, and so we'll be talking more about that rain, and that's also going to help knock down the temperature a little bit. But coming up in a moment, we're going to be talking about football Friday night. All that in a moment. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. It's been 2 months since a devastating flood killed campers and counselors at a girls' camp in the Texas Hill Country. Today, Governor Greg Abbott signed legislation to help prevent future tragedies. Known as the Heavens 27 Camp Safety Act, in honor of the 27 people who died at Camp Mystic. The bill aims to address gaps in disaster preparedness by improving camp safety and streamlining the emergency response. Camps must also have emergency rooftop ladders in every cabin in a 100-year floodplain. One camper is still missing. Governor Abbott announced today that the Texas Workforce Commission received federal approval to extend the deadline for disaster unemployment assistance applications due to the 4th of July weekend severe flooding. Individuals who may be eligible now have until September 29th to apply for assistance. Under the presidential disaster declaration, workers and self-employed individuals in the counties affected who have been unable to work due to damage caused by the flooding may be eligible for benefits. A 50-year-old San Antonio area woman is charged with the capital murder of her 9-year-old son. The arrest affidavit shows it was her husband, who is a police officer, who returned home to hear screaming in their master bedroom.
According to the arrest affidavit, the dad had to break the door down because it was locked. They say once he got inside, he saw his wife holding his 9-year-old son, who was not moving. Police say Medina was also stabbing herself before her husband grabbed her and tried to get what they call a dagger-like object away from her. The child died from multiple stab wounds to the neck. Medina was taken to the hospital. The arrest affidavit says while there, she kept saying she was being followed by people. She also requested an attorney when her Miranda rights were read. Now, Universal Police say this is one of the hardest scenes for first responders to respond to.
I don't think that anything could have prepared our first responders of the city for what they saw. It was devastating, and it was very, very, very rough on them. We've had the opportunity, luckily, to get our officers and have a debrief and talk about it and everything like that. And our firefighters and EMS, they've had a chance to sit down and kind of get it all out and everything like that, and take care of their mental health.
According to police, there have been no prior calls made to this home or against Medina, and they weren't aware of any mental health issues she may have had. She's been booked into the Bexar County Jail after receiving medical care. Her bond has been set at $600,000.
As of now, no pre-indictment court settings are set for Medina, but this is a capital murder case. So if and when she ever does go to trial, the DA's office has the option of proceeding with the death penalty in this case. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing California-based software provider PowerSchool over a data breach that compromised the personal and health information of over 880,000 Texas students and teachers. Numerous Texas school districts use PowerSchool's platform to manage sensitive student and employee data. Last December 2024, a hacker accessed personal records and transferred them to a foreign server. Paxton is accusing the firm of misleading customers and failing to use adequate safeguards. The Republican Party of Texas filed a lawsuit against Secretary of State Jane Nelson in a bid to restrict participation in the GOP's primary elections to only voters registered with the party. Currently, any Texas voter can cast a ballot in GOP primaries. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website, crossroadstoday.com. Victoria College's associate degree nursing program is ranked #1 in the state. The ranking comes from registerednursing.org. Victoria College's nursing program has a 100% pass rate. The 2-year program emphasizes hands-on clinical practice, critical thinking, and professional nursing principles. The program requires a high school diploma or GED, a minimum 2.0 GPA, and includes mandatory requirements like criminal background checks and drug testing. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 6. An apartment raid leaves doors broken and residents fleeing. How one property owner is coping with the aftermath. Also ahead, Tesla's proposed deal could skyrocket Elon Musk's wealth. What it would take for him to hit $1 trillion, plus more business news.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent, the Victoria Police Department, the Quilt Guild, and some friends from Wasatch.
Honoring those that protect us near and far, past and present. We have one World War II veteran left that did come last year, and he promised us he would be there this year, and he's 100 years old.
The city of Chicago is gearing up for the arrival of federal immigration agents, but some agents have already been in the Windy City. Police confirmed U.S. Department of Homeland Security agents were at an apartment complex on the city's west side late last month. Some residents were detained.
Federal agents seen walking with their guns drawn is what families woke up to August 24th in this Austin apartment. A woman in her pajamas seen patted down on the deck, another man handcuffed in the corner. An emotional and frightening experience for this family.
My tenant called me very scared. He said the police are trying to break into our house.
Arminda Castellan is the property owner.
So when I came on Monday, I just see this door, they break this door.
She says 6 people, mostly fathers and husbands, were detained from here.
People were sleeping and they took guns.
Castellan says now some of her doors are broken.
There is nobody here anymore.
And her building is almost empty after the rest of the tenants fled in fear. Castellan says a mom and baby are still in this apartment trying to figure out next steps after the father was taken.
What you should be looking for is that they give you a judicial warrant.
Guadalupe Rivera is a community activist running for state representative. She says if agents knock on anyone's door, they need to ask for a warrant that looks like this. It must be signed by a judge, have the correct name and recent date. It should not look like this ICE document or have an ICE agent's signature.
Do not open the door. You want to ask them to slide it through, like underneath the door.
They say police, but they don't even know what kind of people it is because they're just terrorized right now.
Castellan says her residents thought the agents were police because that's what their vest said. She says she also looked at her tenants' IDs and documents before they signed leases to ensure they were legal citizens.
It's just so sad, you know, they be calling me and I'm just trying to help them.
Rivera added that anyone under threat of detention has a right to remain silent, deny entry, and speak to an attorney. Elon Musk is already a billionaire. He could become the world's first trillionaire if Tesla's proposed pay package for him goes through. The package could grant Musk 423.7 million additional shares of Tesla stock. Those shares would be worth $143.5 billion at today's value. Musk would get those shares only if the value of Tesla stock increases big time in coming years. Company stock would need to reach an overall value of $8.5 trillion for Musk to get all the shares. Inmates in Corpus Christi are learning woodworking skills while behind bars. The Nueces County Sheriff's Office allows inmates to work with scrap wood and create new items like shelves, wall art, and benches. The products are then sold through Etsy.
For inmates Willie Thomas and Sean Wiggins, spending time in the wood shop means learning a new skill they can carry beyond jail.
I feel good making nothing out of something.
Thomas and Wiggins are placed inside the wood shop as part of a program teaching them trade skills while giving back to the community, previously making items for Del Mar College and other locations.
It gives you a drive to really want to make it right and do it and look good, to know that, you know.
Using scrap wood from old pallets, materials that would have been thrown away, and turning them into something new. And now their hard work can be purchased online at Etsy.com, selling things like a garden planter, wall art, shelves, benches, and tables. These pieces don't just fill up a shopping cart online. They give the inmates a reason to keep pushing forward.
It's a sense of freedom, you know. You're stuck in there 24 hours a day, and it could get to you. And this is a huge opportunity to come out here and be free for a little while.
The money made goes right back into the program, helping the jail pay for new equipment, paint, and supplies. Nueces County Sheriff J.C. Hooper tells me it's more than just making wooden products.
A sheriff would be remiss in his responsibilities and his obligation. You know, you got to do more than just keep your inmates safe and secure. You've got to help them improve themselves.
It's about building skills inmates can use long after they leave the jail.
The Etsy shop is managed by the Nueces County Sheriff's Office staff. The Powerball jackpot is now up to $1.8 billion. That is because no winner matched all 6 numbers in Wednesday's drawing. But a Houston player did win $2 million in the multi-state drawing. The winner's ticket matched all 5 white balls, but not the Powerball. The next drawing is Saturday night. The cash value option is over $826 million. Texas does not tax lottery winnings. Have we said, Mac, how great a state Texas is?
Yeah, but somehow you don't get the billion, you only get $500 million. I'm going, where does the billion go? Yeah. Anyway, good luck to everybody who pulls the ticket. I got mine already. Tonight, of course, it's Friday night football all over South Texas, and so we've got a fairly nice afternoon. It's a little on the warm side. 94 currently, 97 was our high. It'll be about 90 degrees at the beginning of the game. So, you know, if you're taking grandma out there, get her a little umbrella because it's a little sunny. Once the sun goes down, things will be very, very nice. However, how about that rain coming in? We'll have all the latest coming up after this. Well, good afternoon, everybody. As we mentioned, Friday night football is out there. Victoria West, Victoria East, the big game at Memorial Stadium. Warm and partly cloudy. That cloud cover coming in from the west is going to be thickening up. Winds are going to be out of the southeast and gusting up to about 20 miles an hour. So all in all, the breeze is good, but not too bad. We're looking at a 90-degree kickoff and an 83 end of the game. So may the best team win. Good luck out there. For today, we've got plenty of sunshine, but you can see that even in central Texas, the cloud deck is already beginning to roll in. Yes, all that tropical moisture we've been talking about for a week is moving ashore. It's raining in Midland, Odessa. It's raining in El Paso. Right now, it's not heavy, but we've got two things to deal with. First of all, we got the remnants of that moisture, and then we have this front. It's the combination of those two that are going to give us the good chance for rain around here. The storm itself is staying out offshore. It's just a spinning of a wind, but the upper level moisture is already pulled away. Tomorrow we've got a warm day. Most of your Saturday will be all right. We'll get up to 95, 94 out in Cuero, but it's on Sunday when the main event should be arriving. Out in the Atlantic, we have this storm system possibly developing into Gabrielle. The interesting thing is that now the computer models are bringing it a little bit farther south. Therefore, it's now sort of aimed at the Windward Islands. So they're going to have to be watching it down in the Caribbean. Of course, for us, we've got two storms. We've got Kiko, which was a really strong storm, but it's going to go right by Honolulu in the next couple of days. And then, of course, Lorena, which has fallen apart. It's, shall we say, it's a distant memory, but not the moisture. You can see how the moisture is streaming into West Texas, and the heaviest activity still out over the desert southwest. All of this moisture will combine with that little front to give us that good chance for rain beginning on Saturday night. I do believe Sunday is going to be a day when we're going to be dealing with on and off showers around the area, so we just can't get away from it. The excessive rainfall is for all of South and Central Texas, so that includes us, Austin, and the Rio Grande Valley. Now, if you're going west, just know that you're going to be running into the heavier activity out here somewhere in the hill country and along the Rio Grande. But yes, we're definitely in the rain business coming in over the weekend. Here's a 5-day raincast, and so you can see how through the next 5 days we've got a chance of 1 to 2 inches of rain here in Victoria, but the heavier stuff probably occurring out here in the hill country and down along the Rio Grande, which is actually good news because we do need the rain. Again, the frontal system will also be moving through here, and that's why we've got a chance for significant rainfall around here. When I say significant, I say, 1 to 2 inches. That's what I expect to be occurring here. Shower activity late in the day tomorrow on Saturday, and then shower activity late in the day in Cuero with a high of about 93 because the clouds are going to get thicker. And then it's Sunday, I believe, that when we're going to have most of the shower activity lingering into Monday, and then Monday after that, we start clearing out for quieter weather. So I believe it's going to be a good rain, Don. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a massive flood situation. Just consider shower activity rolling in for the weekend. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads a Day on your phone. And here's Don.
Mag, thank you. And Sports Director Max Williams is here, and we are talking about the battle as we count it down.
Absolutely here, Don. In a matter just of 20 minutes, we got the Battle of Boot there between Victoria East and Victoria West. And East trying to get some revenge after losing it there to West there last year. So we'll see if they can get the job done as our weekend sports taker, Ray Robinson, will get you the full pregame rundown coming up in sports. Tonight, everyone, we have another edition for the Battle of the Boot between the Victoria West Warriors facing Victoria East Titans at Memorial Stadium. It's going to start here at 7 p.m., so just in about 30 minutes time. And weekend sports anchor Ray Robinson is at Memorial Stadium tonight to highlight tonight's key factors for East to take back the trophy from West.
We're going to continue this early season action here in CFL at Memorial Stadium as the Battle of the Boot is getting underway, and we got Victoria East taking on Victoria West. And as we've seen in the past, stats and records in rivalry games are almost irrelevant. Victoria West is the school to watch as they are currently 1-0 after an impressive Week 1 victory. And then there's Victoria East trying to get some momentum going after their Week 1 loss against Georgetown. And some of you may ask, what is this game all about? What are the students fighting for? And it's pretty simple. City pride and representation at its finest. And Victoria East is the home team, and it's safe to say that they're going to have a whole crowd cheering them on for their first win of the season. Ain't that right? Yeah! Yeah, so if you need any plans in the city of Victoria, if you need some Friday night plans, I think we got the answer here at Memorial Stadium. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. And ladies, can I get Go Titans? Reporting at Memorial Stadium, Ray Robinson, KAVU, TV 25 News Now, Sports.
Love that, Ray. Everyone's getting in the spirit there for that big game tonight there. Again, between Victoria West and Victoria East. But earlier today, we got some excitement with Texas A&M Victoria hosting their first time with the new jerseys under the A&M name. Again, we heard of them at Jack Fest yesterday with the name. Well, today they had their men's, women's soccer teams play with the new name. And now getting into it there for the women's team, there was no goal scored between Nelson there in the first game. But the second half, both teams would open up. Again, Nelson would score first with the first goal. Then at the end there, again, for A&M Victoria, they would get response, and the game would be a tie at 1-1 apiece. Now, as for the men's team, they were actually down there 1-0, and then afterwards they scored, but then Nelson would respond back, and they would get 2 other goals, and they would win 3-1. So both teams, for the girls' team, they got a tie, and the men's team, fortunately, will get the loss. Both teams will be back in action on the road versus McMurray Warhawks. Start next Thursday afternoon at 11 a.m. for the women's team, and men's will start at 1 p.m. And finally, St. Joseph Lady Flyers softball pitcher and Lexi Sanchez announced her commitment earlier today to play softball and study academics at Bryan and Stratton College, which is outside Richmond, Virginia. Sanchez helped the Lady Flyers make a deep run to the TAP State Championship this past season before they would lose. They're in a tough one there in the championship game. And she also improved her game as well over the summer playing for Prodigy Travel Softball. I had a chance to catch up with Sanchez about what this commitment there meant to her and why she chose to go all the way to the East Coast.
Coach Kelly, he was really supportive, and he gave me a lot of detail about what I was going into. I need to bring a lot of pitching over there. That's really what I was recruited as a pitcher. I'm planning to be a utility as well.
She's trying to do everything over there when she goes over there to Bryan and Stratton College out there, Richmond, Virginia. It's a big opportunity there. She's still going to play her senior season with the Lady Flyers softball team out in spring of 2026. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, back to you.
Max, thank you. We're back in a moment. May the force be worth millions of dollars. It was at an auction in London. And finally tonight, the lightsaber used by Darth Vader in the original Star Wars movie sold for over $3.6 million at a movie memorabilia auction. The auction site, Prop Store, reports it's the iconic red lightsaber wielded by Vader as he dueled his son Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The iconic prop was carried on screen by both David Prowse, who played Darth Vader in the original Star Wars trilogy, and by stunt actor Bob Anderson. The listing showed that the lightsabers show signs of wear. I would think.
Yeah.
You know,
It's been in the war.
been in a war, a Star War or 2 or 3, and making a lot of money there. Well, now, if you're going to the game, of course, the battle for the boot starts in about 30 minutes or so. Now, we're not worried about the rain, but we are worried about the heat, so people need to hydrate some.
And, well, hydrate, yes. If you know, if you're taking someone elderly that needs a little protection, maybe a little umbrella to keep them out of the sun. But once the sun goes down, it's going to be a pleasant evening. So I think everybody's going to have fun, right?
Absolutely.
May the best. Are you calling the game? Are you?
Well, no.
No, it's
I
not
wish.
safe. It's not safe. It's not safe to call the game, right?
But you are calling for showers this weekend.
Well, this weekend we do have a big change coming in. Late on Saturday night, I expect the shower activity to begin. Majority will be on Sunday and then decreasing on Monday.
Thank you, Mac, and we'll see you tonight. 25 News Now at 10.